I'll not lie to you, overcoming destructive habits is tough, but with the right tools and a 45 mindset, it is doable, and I'm going to show you how in this video. Hey guys, welcome to another Mastermind Content Masterclass. I'm Richard Oldale and I will be your guide for the next, 5 or 10 minutes or so. So, hands up if you've got destructive habits. Of course you have. Everybody has. It's human nature. But hands up if you want to end your destructive habits and build constructive ways of being. Good for you. Congratulations, my friend, because that takes courage, awareness, and maturity. Okay, let's get started. First thing you need to know is habits are coping mechanisms. I'm not going to explain why in this video, but if you want to know, you can read about it on the Mastermind Content website. Just go to the blog, hit the search function, type in habits, and open the content titled How Coping Habits Become an Addiction. It's all there. So, coping habits cause addictions, but they also cause other problems in your life as well. You see, coping mechanisms basically fill a void that opened up when an aspect of your personality became split off and repressed. Why is this important? Because developing your personality with as many qualities as possible is vital for how you navigate through life. The more attributes of your personality you integrate into conscious awareness, the more capable you are of success, happiness, peace, love, wisdom, and overcoming the challenges that you encounter during your life's journey. The Archetypes tool in the Mastermind Content Essential Self-Development Program lists all the qualities you need to reach whatever goals you're aiming for, no matter what stage of life you are in or where you are on your journey. The next stage always requires some degree of self-improvement. Otherwise, life just becomes stagnant, mundane and depressing. And I've been there, done that, trust me, I don't want to go back. The second thing you need to learn is coping mechanisms are driven by emotions. This is why destructive habits are so difficult to overcome. So for me, I used to struggle with addictions and limiting views for years. Ultimately, it was a subconscious program and I was prone to self-sabotage. Now, even when you know you need to make changes, resisting that emotional pull towards fixed behaviours that you have had for years is an absolute slog. It's a complete battle. Now, if you're really struggling to overcome a bad habit, you need to create a new habit which is more constructive. And the new habit then replaces the old habit. Now, the third thing you need to know is habits are formed by building synapses which store memories. Memories are subconscious programs. The ego responds to subconscious programs. The ego makes most of your decisions. That means that unless you have a strong sense of self, habits are difficult to overcome because the ego can't resist the temptation of a habit because it knows that's where your safety is. And that is really what habits is about. It's about survival. It's about being in survival mode. So let's get to the solution. Now, step one is self-awareness. Now, self-awareness is the catalyst for self-development, or another way of saying that is healing emotional wounds. Same thing. Now, when you're aware of how you are creating problems in your life and why, you're in a better position to understand the reasons for your actions. Now, this can give you the motivation to make relevant changes once you recognize that it is a limiting beliefs or insecurity or whatever the reason may be, a lack of self-confidence, a lack of self-love, a lack of self-esteem, maybe behind the reason for your bad habits. Once you understand that, then it does give you more motivation to change. So then step 2 is actually healing the emotional wounds, or creating new habits which ultimately heal the emotional wounds. Now, bad habits will be broken by healing emotional wounds, no matter how long it takes to transform the program. Adopting new ways of being upgrades the subconscious mind, and it's the subconscious mind which stores the emotional wounds. Now, okay, some emotional wounds are a quick fix, others take a bit more time. It all really depends on your mindset, your temperament, the depth of your wound, and your willingness to overcome the changes that will help you to heal your wounds. For example, addictions are associated with people that have low self-esteem and a lack of self-love. But the work on healing self-esteem and a lack of self-love takes a lot longer than, say, integrating personality traits such as arrogance, procrastination, decision-making, criticism, judging, or any of these other traits that you can integrate into conscious awareness to help you improve relationships and experience life in a more richer quality. Now, the Mastermind Content Essential Self-Development Program has strategies, tools and philosophies that help with all this. It's important to take small steps, and this is step 3. Big changes require small steps. If you go cold turkey and try to adopt new ways of being overnight, you're more likely to struggle. You'll certainly struggle to sustain a new way of being for long enough, because the ego will try and pull you back to its emotional attachments, to its survival instincts. And when it does that, you then make the excuse, well, I tried but it didn't work. And then you just stop trying altogether. Yeah, I know that for a fact. It does happen. You probably know that happens as well, right? So here's what to do. I found the best way to change destructive habits is to coax the ego through moments when you either feel resistance or when your cravings are pulling you towards your source of comfort, or when you feel a particular emotion arising that also drives you towards a particular habit. Then you need to adopt a different strategy, a different type of action, and tell yourself a different story. So that's where step 1 and step 2 hold real power. They hold the truth. It's your truth, not the lie that the ego believes. When you are aware of your story, you have the power to change the story. When you change the story, you heal emotional wounds. And that all starts by adopting a new habit. Now, what that new habit looks like for you is different for everybody. But no matter what your new habit is, choose to do it at a time when your destructive habit normally kicks in. So for example, let's say you have a habit of binge eating snacks or comfort food whilst you're binge watching Netflix after work in the evening. Well, first of all, don't fucking watch Netflix, because if you're not watching Netflix, then you're not tempted by eating unhealthy snacks. What you need to do is another activity that does not tempt you into binging on unhealthy snacks. So for example, don't go to the cinema, don't go to a friend's house who is likely to offer you snacks. Do something that is active, for that, such as a sport, go walking, maybe join some club, special interest club, something that you enjoy to do, and something that stirs your emotional well-being. So here's another example. Let's say your destructive habit is to anger quickly, and you take your frustration out on your lover, which is clearly not helping your relationship. Now what you need to do in these moments is to stop yourself from shouting and moaning about something to someone that you love, simply because they are there for you to take out your frustration. Take your frustration out on something else. For example, go and punch the bed or punch the pillow, or go for a run. Now, this part of the process will not heal your emotional wounds, but what it does is to expel the energy that holds the anger that is rising from your subconscious. So what you do, you expel that anger by punching the bed rather than doing your partner's head in. Now, you know in your heart of hearts that you're not really arguing about anything important. What is happening is that you have simply got caught up in a wave of emotion and need to direct your energy into the external world because it's creating conflict in your inner world. So punching the bed or going for a run or something more constructive helps you to release that emotional energy that is prompting the destructive behaviour. And once that energy is expelled, you'll return to a rational frame of mind where you can retell your story and reason with the ego to adopt a different behaviour that helps you to integrate the part of your personality that is split off. This helps you to adopt new habits that will eventually form stronger memories and upgrade your subconscious program. Is that clear? We go deeper into other strategies of how to coax the ego in the Essential Self-Development program. But you have here in this video the basis for overcoming destructive habits. So just to go through them again. Step 1, self-awareness. Understand why you have a destructive habit. Step 2, heal emotional wounds. This involves upgrading subconscious programs. Step 3, identify strategies that enable you to adopt new ways of being that eventually develop an emotional change that is stronger than your existing emotional program. I wish I could be more specific and say, yes my friend, to overcome destructive habits you need to do this, but that is just not the case. There is no one single solution that resolves everybody's problem. It all depends on what your destructive habit is and the program that causes it. So the only real fix is through self-awareness, building new habits that upgrade subconscious programs. But knowledge is power. Now you know how to overcome destructive habits. You're in a position of power to do something about it.